Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin and today I wanted to talk just about what we've been up to recently and the things that we're doing to save money and money mistakes as well, because I know like most people have them and there's moments of regret when you kind of spend on something and it isn't what you thought it would be, or you just feel like you've been kind of overcharged for something. So yeah, this week has been pretty good on the frugal front. My kids are back to school, which I think helps a little bit because there aren't people constantly asking for things. Not that I always put us in situations where that can happen anyway, because I feel like over the summer we used our membership that we'd already paid for a lot, and yeah, like I try to do as many free activities as possible, but it just kind of eliminates that the potential for as many like kid based outings and things like that. So yeah, this weekend we went to the Maritime Festival, which is a festival held in Titanic Quarter in Belfast. And if you don't know, like the Titanic was built in Belfast, so there's a Titanic museum and they kind of changed that whole area into like, I guess, a touristy kind of spot, and I really love walking around it even when there's nothing on. And there's a little cafe there that's like an honesty box one where you just pay what you can and then you can get coffee and treats, and it has a really nice atmosphere. And it's not open on Sundays, so we didn't go there. Sorry about the whiffing, it's inevitable. He just always whiffs, especially when I make videos. Potato! Yeah, probably somebody has dared to get into their car across the road, or a cat happens to be walking along the footpath outside. I'm going to close the door. How dare they live in their own street. Yeah, so what else was I going to say? Yeah, the Maritime Festival, it was like free entry and it was on all weekend. We went yesterday and it was like a lot of I guess nautical kind of themed stuff. Like there was a ship that you could get a tour of. We didn't end up doing that because there was a queue. There were music stations, like there was a lady singing opera. There were some clowns doing like acrobatic type stuff. There were lots of little tents set up with community initiatives at them, so you could find out more. And I got a leaflet from one. It's a community supported agriculture thing, and it's a little farm that sells vegetable boxes and they deliver them to your house, and it's all like organic, locally grown veg, and they sell eggs as well. And then if you sign up for it, you're also invited as part of their little community to take part in harvesting workshops and different farm events that they have. So I thought it sounded really good, and I've emailed them now to find out about getting one. I also find that like a lot of the fruit and veg that I buy from like bigger supermarkets, when it comes with our food shop, it's already off before we've even had a chance to eat it. And I don't know if that's because it's transported from like abroad and it's not fresh, but it's very frustrating because I feel like every week we have to eat the fruit and things like that on the day we get it, or else it's bad. Like, and I think part of it too could be because it's food delivery. They just think we'll just shove in whatever we're trying to get rid of because they can't really complain until we're there, and then they might not bother. So yeah, I just thought it sounded interesting and like something I'd like to get involved in. And I love the idea of going along to a harvesting event, and I do love gardening, but I feel like I'm not naturally good at it, so it would be good to pick up some tips. We were also talking to a lady who said that they have allotments and things, and this is in like South Belfast, it's a different place, but you can call in on a Saturday to help out, and I think it would be good to get the kids involved in something like that too, so I'm definitely going to look into that. Like, what else was at it? I'll add some clips at the end of the video so you can see what it was like, but it was just like bits and pieces of different things. Like they had this artisan like food market, they had another food market for like hot food. I decided not to buy lunch there and just use leftovers at home and leave a bit earlier to eat at home, because I knew it would save us about £30 or maybe more. So we didn't stay for lunch, but we had a good long walk and took Potato with us. We went around a lot of the tents, chatted to people. I just like got videos of the little setup that they had, and it had a nice atmosphere, and I just like going to things like that where you can explore and just discover what's there and get chatting to people, and like you don't know what you'll find. My daughter made a little like boat while we were there with a lady had bought these little like trays. They were made out of wood. I guess they're for like serving dishes, and she'd used them as the base of the boat so that it would float, and my daughter got to decorate that, so she enjoyed that. And yeah, as with all of these sorts of community events, they always have plenty of like stationery supplies too if you need to pick up anything for free, so that is a benefit of it as well. On Saturday we just had like a kind of staying closer to home sort of day. We walked Potato on the Greenway, we went to the library, and I was invited to a Macmillan Cancer morning. They're running at the end of the month. It's like a coffee morning where you go and you can donate and have coffee and just chat with people, so I think I'm going to go to that, and it's only around the corner. I didn't get any books this time because I'm being so slow at reading. I feel like crochet has taken over my entire life, and I'm working on this jumper with cats on it. I think I mentioned it in the last video. I had to start over again last night because I realised I had made a mistake and it was like visible, so I just decided to start from scratch. But I didn't get too frustrated because I feel like it's all a learning curve, and I used to be really concerned with perfection, and kind of like if something wasn't perfect the first time I made it, I would just think, oh, I'm bad at this, and write it off and not try it again, and just get rid of it. But I think I'm kind of developing through crochet more patience with trying. If it doesn't work out, you can get rid of it and start again. It's not a big deal, and it's all part of the process and helps you improve your skills. So I think finishing the little like vest top type thing was encouraging because I had to scrap it the first time and start over, but I did get there eventually, and it might not be perfect, but it is wearable and it worked out fine in the end. So I'm hoping the cat jumper will be the same. There's just a lot of colour changes, which is quite confusing, and then I'm trying to weave in like ends as I go so I don't have to keep cutting it and having loads of loose ends. So yeah, it is time consuming, but I'm enjoying it. And when you get into the way of doing it where you're not having to overthink the whole thing, it's really relaxing. We also made some little egg carton pumpkins yesterday, so I tried to cut out all the little cups, and then my daughters painted them different colours for different coloured pumpkins, and then we put pipe cleaners in for the stalks, and I think I'm going to try and thread wool through it to make it into bunting for autumn. And I just like the idea of making your own decorations and reusing things again and again, and making things out of stuff you already have lying around. Like I didn't have to buy any supplies for that. We already had paint, we already had the pipe cleaners, and we already had like egg cartons, which were just going to go in the bin anyway. So it's like making something out of something that would be waste too, and I like that. And I've got so into watching videos about the environment and our impact on it and ways we can kind of reduce that, and I really love the channel Shell Bizzle at the minute. I think that's how you say it. And yeah, like I just find her content really inspiring. And then I find that even though it's based around environmentalism, when I've watched it, like another effect of that is that it then influences my spending and helps me to cut back and to feel motivated to save money, not waste things, not throw things away, not buy things I don't really need. So it's really positive in that way. And yeah, this week, like other than that, yeah, I planted some scallions, or if you're not from here, spring onions. I think Americans call them green onions, but I'm not sure. You know, the big long ones that you can use in Asian cooking and things like that. And I planted some of the ends of them when I'd finished with them from the shop before in the garden, and then I just decided to see what happened, and they grew into full like scallions, so I used some of them in my cooking. I also found that oregano, I thought it died, and it hasn't. It's just quite small at the minute, so I'm hoping if I pick it, more will come. And I'm hoping my rhubarb recovers. If you have any tips on growing rhubarb, feel free to share them below, because mine produced like enough for say like one serving of it, and then it never kind of recovered from that. Like it's very kind of spindly, and it's just not really usable at the minute, and the leaves keep going yellow. So if you have any gardening tips on that, feel free to let me know. As you know, gardening isn't my forte. So yeah, I'd appreciate that, and feel free to share anything that you've been doing below and any frugal activities or savings that you've made this week, and I will share some clips of what we've been up to. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you soon. Bye. Oh yeah, and the money mistake of the week that I wanted to share was that yesterday, while we were at the Maritime Festival, I decided to get the kids an ice cream, and I got a coffee rather than getting something to eat or something bigger. And I saw that they had a pumpkin spice latte for sale, and it's this little coffee van that I've been to before that I really loved when we were at the Fine and Dandy market. And the coffee is amazing, but when I went to pay, I could not believe how much it was. It was £4.50 for one cup of coffee, and it wasn't even a big cup of coffee. It was like a standard sized one, and it was very nice, but I don't think no matter how nice, I don't think a cup of coffee should be £4.50, so that felt like a frugal feel. But yeah, it's just made me think more about, I know that I do tend to plan ahead and bring things with me, but sometimes I don't, and I don't, like I'd brought snacks with us, but I hadn't taken the time to make coffee ahead of that, and I really want to get around to making my pumpkin syrup too, so I'm less tempted to buy pumpkin spice stuff when I'm out. So yeah, I just think like, even if you're careful, you always end up like having little slip-ups here and there, but it's just like what you learn from it and trying to be better next time. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.